So the Dutch, I won't say they were brutalizing Hindus in the same way as the Portuguese,
Mhm.
but their main contribution was the slave trade. So they were very actively taking slaves from the Indian subcontinent, and this there's a lot of literature on the slave trade in the Atlantic. The African countries being enslaved. There's enough research on it. There's a lot of talk on it, but there is I'm not saying there isn't any, that's how I learned about it, but there is not enough literature on the slave trade in the Indian Ocean.
Right.
So Hindus from India were being regularly shipped out of India to Cape Town and to other parts of South Africa and other Dutch colonies, basically, and they were being converted into slaves for basically for free labor. They had hardly any rights,
Right.
so to say. So this figure was in thousands, and the I mean, when the British came to India, they, of course, they expanded this legacy because the British Empire itself was much bigger. Their requirements were much more, and the Dutch East India Company was, anyways, later on it dissolved, a few decades later. So you can say that the business of the British was much bigger. The business of the Dutch was a bit smaller, but
Right.
the VOC, which was the Dutch East India Company, was actually the first commercial enterprise to start this trade of slaves from India. And these
Right.
slaves, of course, worked in very subhuman conditions. They had no rights, so to say. So, although they did not like butcher Hindus in the same way or persecute them in the same way, but they did take them out of India.